Back again for another video. So on today's topic, we will be talking about a very light subject, nothing too heavy. It's just going to be about compliments, complimenting your woman. Why is this important? Because women are built on superficiality a lot of times. They're more concerned about their looks. They're more concerned about how they appear and how they come off to people, because once again, this is biologically driven a lot of times. It is socially driven as well, because that's what our society is. But no matter where you go in the world, women want to be considered beautiful. No matter where you go in the world, women want to be accepted into the collective. And this is very important for you to acknowledge, and for you to understand that she wants to be considered valued in your collective. So it's very important to relay that to her a lot of times, because us as men, we tend to forget that our women need external validation. Because once again, no matter where you go in the world, this is the consistency. Remember, the truth is consistent. You can find that women generally like compliments. They like to be, like I said, once again, acknowledged as being valuable. And sometimes how you relay that is through compliments. But I want to tell y'all some things about compliments. You shouldn't give a woman a compliment all the time. You shouldn't give her a compliment all the time, because this creates what I like to call a picture on the wall effect. I think I did note that a few times in my videos in previous past, but for those of you who don't know, I gave a story about my past. Essentially, you get so used to something that you don't recognize it as being valuable anymore. That's the reason why you don't want to do that to women. We see this all the time in our own communities, especially with women who place very high on the sexual marketplace value. They hear this all the time, so it doesn't mean anything to them anymore. They're always looking for the next excitement, the next thrill. So you don't want to over exhaust your compliments. And another thing that you want to do is give them when they're appropriate. If she is not adhering, if she is not listening, if she is not on her job, if she is not doing what she needs to be doing, compliments should be the last thing that you should give her. The reason why is because it will condition her to associate her bad behavior with being beautiful. You see how that works? If you do it enough times, it will. We are still humans. We are still governed by these conditioning factors, the things that are necessary, the components of conditioning. So you can condition your woman to do many things, and one of the things that you condition her to do is if you give her compliments when she is behaving poorly. She will think that she will then start to associate the compliments with the bad behavior. So you don't want to do that. Another way that you want to approach giving compliments is not to necessarily objectify. And what I mean by this is you want to compliment her on the things that are not so obvious in so many words. It's hard to explain that because this is kind of women speak kind of thing, but it relays more down to the small things. Compliment her on her hair, compliment her on her maybe she got her toes done, or her skin. Compliment her on her overall beauty. I personally don't like to refer to women, my women anyways, as beautiful all the time, or even I do it sparingly. I more so compliment the things that I like about them, and they understand. I never had a complaint, never had anyone tell me that they feel objectified or anything like that. But it's good to know your woman, because sometimes they go through insecurity phases at times, even if they are validated by your presence, and this could diminish their ability to output. So, in no way, shape, or form am I saying that you should use this as a tool to get better output out of your woman. I mean, you could, but I want it to be more sincere, because I'm more sincere. That's what I push. I push sincerity. I don't say nothing unless I want to say it, or unless it needs to be said. I don't say nothing out of necessity of product. That's not me. I can create whatever product I need for myself. But nonetheless, my point is that sometimes a compliment could change a woman's pace in her day. If she see that she's having a bad time, or she has her insecurities are creeping up about her, maybe she feels some type of way about something that somebody said to her or something like that, you can tell them exactly how you feel. Not necessarily how you feel, but how you see things, how things appear, and what the truth of things is. And you can say, because I've ran across this several times, where my women said, I just don't feel like I look good enough today, or I feel like I look silly in this outfit, and I'll tell them the truth, like, nah, that's not going to work. But if it's contrary to what I see, then I'll tell them like, no, you're totally fine. You look great in that, And sometimes that can change a woman's whole entire mood, because once again, this is part of your energy. This is part of your light that you're giving her. You're giving her the anchor to the reality again, and that's your job. And I know I talk often about correction. I talk often about obedience and keeping them in line and stuff like that. There's another side to this. You also have to be a compassionate person as well. That is the finite balance that you play with this, because remember, you're her guardian pretty much, and her lover. So you just can't play guardian all the time. Sometimes you have to play her lover, and it doesn't mean all the time sexually. Now, a lot of men would say, you can end up looking like a simp in some of these situations. I tend to disagree that if a woman is earning her keep and she's doing what she needs to be doing, then there's nothing that you can do for that woman that will be simpish behavior. Simpish behavior, once again, is simply when you try to encourage a woman to give you something based on what you give her, and there's no guarantee of that. It should be the other way around, meaning that you as a man should be functioning in a way that a woman gives you things, and therefore you give her things in return. Sometimes this can flip-flop. Once again, this is the scenarios that I'm talking about, that if she's been doing everything that she's been doing, and there's clearly nothing that needs to be done to your standard, it's totally fine for you to give a woman who has completed such tasks a compliment, to give her her desires. There's nothing wrong with that at all, because this is part of the relationship. This is part of building a good communication, a good boundaries. Compliments do create boundaries. A lot of people don't see that, but they do, because they ward off the things that she is not, and she knows how you viewed her versus how you don't view her. Like I said, they create boundaries. They may not be in the same way that you may generally understand them, but they do create them. But nonetheless, it's totally fine. It's okay to give your woman a compliment. I suggest that you do, especially if she is a woman who is committed to the betterment of you, committed to the betterment of herself. She is dedicated, and she is giving her best ability in these circumstances that you put before her, or that she is put before. So I think it's totally fine, and I think it is very appropriate for you to give your woman a compliment. But anyways, like, comment, and share. Check me out on Facebook. I just uploaded last week's videos on there. So if you want to share them, go right ahead. Definitely check me out. Wolf and Beta Clothes, of course. But until next time, this has been, of course, the Wolf and Beta Clothes. May you have a good day, and peace be with you.